I never realized how much I would love Redstone until I made this. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to show my first ever Redstone creation. I've never touched Redstone in my life. I have never done anything with Redstone in my life, except for basic piston pushes and basic door opening or basic light turning on. My goal of this creation was I wanted to make something a little more complicated than that. And so the original inspiration was I wanted to make a secret passage right here in this waterfall. I need to fix it. It got all messed up from when I was building it. And there'd be a waterfall here. I essentially just wanted a secret passage and waterfall that leads to like an enchantment room or something like that. And so what I ended up settling on was I wanted it to be a flat door. So I didn't want to just do where you have 2 blocks here and then there's some openings and then piston open close. I wanted to make it where this was all filled up. So that means this would be pulled and then it'd be pulled to the side. And so this is the result, as you've probably already seen. So it was a little more complicated than I thought it was going to be. I essentially had to make 2 pistons, so one right here and one right here. This one going up and the other going down, and then they had to be pushed into the center, and then those had to be powered and push the blocks in. Sounds really simple on paper. It took me 4 hours to do this because I had no idea what I was doing. If you're a Redstone pro and this looks like a mess and you know of a way to compact this, I'm happy for you. I'm not that smart. I am zero brain when it comes to circuits. At least I feel like zero brain. So it took me a while to even remotely come to this conclusion. And I kind of wanted to explain some of the characteristics on how I made this work because there's some cool stuff that I'm sure Redstone people have figured out how to do for ages. But for me, it was some of these concepts I never even imagined until I started on this project. And again, I did not look up any videos, so yeah, it's just this is just my first attempt on doing something. So right here, I have 2 dolly systems. I got one right here. We have a top and a bottom. And we have one right there, top and bottom. So these dolly systems, they're basically designed where one is always powered. So this one right now is powered. But once this circuit gets powered, this one will be unpowered, and then this one will be powered. And so it will sort of shift this entire column of blocks. And so I have one over here, except this one's powered and this one's unpowered. So initially, I wasn't sure how to get the blocks into the center, and I sort of came up with this dolly system, which took like 2.5 hours for me to even imagine. But I was so excited when I thought of it. Was essentially, just push this block up, push it into the middle. It's all about timing at this point. This one just needs to push it after these get powered. And so pretty much with the circuit, the dolly system is always going to happen first. And that is fine to do because when this is all powered and this is extended out, the dolly system can't actually function until this actually pulls back in. So it's perfectly fine to always have the dolly system be first because it's never going to work until everything is finished. Everything is in kind of a closed state. At the same time as the dolly's going, I have this right here. I should say dolly, but both dollies. I have that there. And this block over here, they push in these center blocks. So on this side, it's pushing in this block. On this side, it's pushing out this block. And so it's kind of doing top and bottom. And so with that, I then also at the same time have this block shifting. You can't see it. It's in the ceiling. But there is a block that gets pushed to the left, and then the redstone block gets pushed. And so that's sort of all happening at the same time. Once that's all happened, these intermediate blocks push in these lesser pistons. And at the same time, this is being powered and below is being powered. And then once those are pushed in, the power blocks should already be in place, or the power sources should already be in place. So the middle blocks will push and it will close off the wall. And then it pretty much undoes itself when it's unpowered. The power blocks are first to move. And once the power blocks are first to move, these get pulled back in. Then these two blocks get pulled back in shortly after. And then the dolly system corrects itself once these get pulled back in, which are always the last thing. I know, that's a lot. It seems simple, right? All I'm trying to do is get a little doorway opened. But this, I had a lot of challenges, and I kind of want to also just talk about my challenges, because if you're getting into Redstone and you happen to come across this video, you can do it. I did it with having no knowledge. You can do it. But I kind of wanted to explain the struggles I went through. Maybe it'll help you figure out what you're going through. So, first and foremost, I was unsure of how I was even going to close it at first. I was like, okay, I had like a... You see how I have like this one piston right down there, like right where my cursor is? I had a 3-piston system, and I was like, okay, I need 3 pistons that all push each other, and they got to repull each other, and that wasn't happening. I had to like redo the middle piston multiple times for that type of system to work, and that was just not possible, especially with a small space like this. So I was like, okay, so I need to then instead figure out a different way to get this sort of this block right here to be here. So instead of it being right here and then being pushed out like right here, so originally I was going to do, okay, you have a block here, you push it up to close it off, and then it repulls, and then all this 3-block system will push it out. It just wasn't working out. I then that's kind of what the dolly system came into play. I realized that I thankfully had one block high enough to go higher. So I was like, okay, I can put a piston up here. Why not just push these pistons back and forth? And then that works a lot better than trying to do some weird, crazy triple system. My second problem was, it was easy to power this bottom piston right here. Once it gets pushed up and right there, there's a torch right here. It powers the block above it. All good. No problem. Easy peasy. The top was not as easy. I came to realize that there wasn't a good way to actually get this block to push down and then push a block ahead, because the problem was I would need, one, to have a visible torch here, which is why I decided to use a redstone block. But the whole point of this was to make it look just like a flawless passageway. And so I couldn't have the redstone block be visible. So I was in a conundrum. I was like, okay, what do I do? Why not just a solid sideways dolly? So I made a sideways dolly. So there's a block here. This pushes, and then this won't push back until this pushes up. I think this is a sticky piston. It could be a regular piston. I don't care to change it. I don't want to break it. The point is, I made a sideways dolly system that works the same as the wall, but it pushes down the power source. And you can kind of see it in the play right here. So instead of the power being above the piston above, like the one below is, it's actually just behind this wall. And I could have maybe did something like that here, but let's not overcomplicate things. It's basically my mentality. So, yep, it'll all undo itself. The last challenge I had was, and you probably noticed it, there's a random obsidian block here. This redstone powers this piston in a contracted state, and so it would push whatever block, so I had to throw a random obsidian right there just so it couldn't push. And so it could stay nice and flawless outside of here. In terms of that, though, that's pretty much the system. I had a lot of timing issues, which is why this all looks crazy. There's maybe a way to make this timing much more simplified, but I just randomly did stuff until it got working. I'll be honest. So the timing's working, the pathway's working. I can close all this off, and I'm going to have a staircase to an enchantment room or whatever else I was going to hide. I wasn't sure what else I wanted to hide. I think I wanted to hide something else, like a secret club or something. But yeah, I am super proud, and I don't know if I'm going to do another redstone creation again. 5 hours or 4 hours. It's 4 hours devoted to just this simple little opening. Took forever. I could make another opening like this. I get the system. Maybe if I was to make it somewhere else, it'd be a lot quicker, because I understand that it basically just takes 3 dollies and just like a timing. That's basically all it takes. But holy crap, it took forever. So, yep, this is pretty much it. So what I was gonna do is above here is my house. I was gonna put like a lever somewhere. I wasn't sure if I was gonna put it outside, which is why this is all opened up. Maybe I want to put it over here somewhere. I'm gonna have to investigate that and figure it out. And this passageway only exists right now, so I can easily get back in while I'm setting it all up. But yeah, I'm super proud of the system. It looks crazy in the back, but something so complicated just for a simple doorway. It's crazy. But hopefully this video, if you're new to Redstone, hopefully inspires you to actually try doing something. Just it looks overcomplicated. All you need to do is just experiment. I mean, I basically watched no Redstone videos. I think the only one I did was an XOR gate and can I move a torch signal downwards, which I learned was not easy, at least not with minimal space. So, but yeah, you don't really need to learn. You just have to experiment, figure it out. It's just circuitry, basically. I don't know circuits, but hey, I feel like I know a lot more thanks to this. And if you're a pro that watched this, I hope you at least feel somewhat impressed by my first attempt at Redstone, which maybe this was a little bit too complicated as a first attempt. Maybe it was simple, actually perfectly simple enough. I don't know. But yeah, I'm also going to probably do another video just kind of showing kind of how my basic world is. But for now, this is it. So thank you, and bye.